Hello there, peoples of the internet, once again to another devlog, finally. So last week, just a quick explanation, there wasn't one because I was at a hackathon, which is basically 24 hours, no sleep, build something or code something. So I actually made a 3D printer, my first ever 3D printer, and I made it from CD disk drives. So I've been working a little bit more on that project, but that doesn't mean that I have paused development of A Peasant's Tale. So this week I actually was working on more of the UI, switching over to the new UI system, and mainly on the items front. So the items now you'll see are once again normal, as in they actually are overlaid on top of the info grid, or the inventory grid. So while that looks like it used to, it's now much more efficient, it's much easier to use and code and all of that, so yada yada yada, it's better. The new addition, however, is these awesome little info panels. So if you guys remember, I had these old, kind of test, I just used them as a test, but these clunky, big, blocky panels that when you hovered over the item, it would kind of just say its name. Well, now I'm using the GUI system and the new UI system to make a much better info panel. So this is really easy to add text to. It's much smaller, I can control how big it is. I can control what font it is much easier. I'm not sure about this font. I'm using Lucida Blackletter for the name font up top, and then Helvetica for the bottom. I don't know, I might change that, but let me know if it's nice. But you see you still have the different colors for the different rarity qualities. You've got a little transparent background that actually fits to the size of the text. So you see this background is matched to having 2 lines of text, and it's as wide as the widest line of text is. Whereas here, it's only a single line, so there you go. It's also a little bit wider on either end, just as a little buffer space that I added on purpose, but you can make it right along with the text if you want. So that's the big addition this time. I also fixed a bug with the crafting UI. So next week, I'm going to be working on actually adding it in item equipment, where right now, if you go in, you can equip things like here. I equipped a battle axe to my left hand, or my right hand, but it doesn't actually show up on the character, and it doesn't change anything with your stats or anything. So that'll be this week. The big focus of this week is actually getting it to change basically your stats and things like that, and actually showing how you're holding a battle axe or stuff like that. So that'll be this week. I'm excited to get that in. The week after that, hopefully, or maybe along with this week, I don't know how it'll work out, but the next thing I'm going to do is add saving, so adding the saving functionality finally. And then after that, I'll be working on the music system and kind of getting everything working and much better with music. I know that we have music and sound effects and stuff in the game, but it's a really hacky, nasty system. I mean, I can barely call it a real system. So what I'm talking about is more different musical themes blend into one another depending on where you are, what's happening in the world, stuff like that. So that's all going to be a little bit later down the line. Hopefully that's all going to get finished before the July 1st, which is when I'm leaving. Like I said last video, that's when I'll be leaving to work on a literal, actual lunar rover that's going to the moon, which I am very excited about. But that means that during that time there won't be any videos, or there might be videos, so check, stay tuned. But there won't be anything really on the game because I just won't have time to work on it. So yeah, that's kind of everything right now that I had to go through. So stick around. I'll probably do some streaming this week, stuff like that. So yeah, goodbye.